Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a complete overhaul on the M3. As you probably saw in the first video, the paint is really bad because this car was previously wrapped and I guess it was just left on for too long, and so the adhesive stuck to it a little too much and just kind of ruined it when I guess they were taking it off. So you'll see right here. This is obviously what it's supposed to look like, a little bit better, but as you can tell right here, all that's adhesive and you can't just like scratch that off. So that's obviously going to be a lot harder to remove. The worst part of it all is the hood. And it does have a little bit of texture in other areas, but for the most part, the rest looks promising and a little bit easier to deal with. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be wet sanding the hood, because any areas that we see where it has the most adhesive residue that we need to get rid of, it's going to be wet sanded. And then after it's all wet sanded, we're going to polish it. It is a little nerve-wracking because of how like dense this adhesive really like stuck to the hood, I guess you could say. No matter what we do, there's still going to be very minor texture. What we're primarily focusing on is just getting rid of that crappy looking dots and patterns from the adhesive. So what we did is we did do a test area right here that we wet sanded and polished, and you can see already it's like a big difference from here compared to this side. This is like, you know, you can see me, and then on this side you can barely. With doing that test area, it's going to show us how long we're going to have to take during each grit, and we're going to go from there. This is definitely a big project. It's going to be tough, but I think with the help of JM Auto Lab, we're going to be taking care of this thing, and it's going to come out really good. So yeah, pretty much a lot of this video is going to be more so time lapse, because it's just going to take a lot of time for us to like really focus and get through wet sanding the car and making sure we don't just burn through the clear coat.
So after we did the small test spot area, I tried to hit with the 1000 first, but the 1000 grit didn't do anything. So we got to get the 600 grit. Make sure it's for auto. So we'll do 600 grit, 1000 grit, and a 1500 grit. And that should solve the problem. Let's go. There you go, bro.
So obviously this looks kind of scary, but we're lightly going over with the 600. And this is pretty much what it's going to look like dry. This side's not completely done, but we obviously don't want to go too long with the 600. That way when we finish it off with the 1000 and 1500, it's just going to get rid of all these abrasive marks or scratch marks that we're getting from the 600 and kind of like clear it away. That way when we polish it, we're only dealing with the very fine scratches and not the deep scratches. The whole goal is just making it look like glass almost. So we're going to go ahead and do a time lapse. So we just did our first pass through with the 600 grit, and this is what it looks like. Honestly, looking at this is kind of scary. It's like, are we going to even be able to save it? But we're going to be able to. So this is the 600 grit. Scuffed it up just to get all that extra texture. It was in like a weird area, so it was like this, almost like this pattern. So a lot of this area wasn't there, but we're still going to just hit it while we're at it. So far, it's like coming out pretty good. We kind of just went over it quickly with the 600. We're going to go a little more in detail with the 1000 just to make sure we get rid of these scratch marks, and then hit it with the 1500. And hopefully it comes out really good. How are you feeling about things so far?
Very happy. I do this very often, so this is easy peasy. It's just time-consuming process. 2 is better than 1, so we'll take it down really quickly, and we'll be done with it pretty soon. Yeah.
We just got done doing the 1000 grit layer, I guess you want to call it, and it looks pretty good. I'm pretty sure we did it enough to get rid of the finer scratches from the 600 grit, but take a look. I don't know if you guys can kind of tell. Previous owner had touch-up paint on there, so nothing we can really do about that. But if anything, we kind of like leveled it out. I don't know if you can tell on camera. There is minor scuffs still, but that's from the 1000. And then we're gonna hit it with a light and quick 1500, and that's gonna get rid of the rest of this. So after that, there's going to be like micro scratches, I guess you could say. And with the micro scratches, it's going to come off with polishing it. So the hood is the biggest like issue on the whole car. Everything else is just going to be a lot quicker of a pass through. What time is it? What time is it? What time is it?
9:47.
9:47. It is 9:47. We've probably been at it for like what, like an hour right now?
Yeah.
And it's only the hood. Before we got brought into the garage, we washed it and clay barred it. So once we're done with everything, we're gonna have to probably wash it again just to get rid of all this. You can see all this. We're just making a mess. Like once everything's done and then we do the full paint correction on the rest of the car, we're gonna ceramic coat it, because why not?
More moments later.
All right, so this is gonna be the moment of truth. We just finished the 1500 grit, and now it's gonna be the master detailer Jirath to polish the hood. Fingers crossed, we hope that everything works out as planned. The only bad thing that's gonna happen now is the hood's gonna look even better than the rest of the car. So right now we have the hood kind of like propped up level. We have my trusty hydro flask kind of propped up right here. You know it's real when you got the apron on. You ready?
I'm about to splash that shit.
You gotta splash that shit. Before you wipe it, how are you feeling?
Not bad.
Not
Let's
bad?
see if we can get all the scratches off.
Here's the wipe down. Oh, that looks a lot better.
Yep. Pretty much gone.
Damn! Holy crap, that thing's popping. I mean, minus the rock chips that you kind of see, but dude, look, you can clearly see me. That looks so good. Hey, good job, bro. Good job. Once the whole thing looks like that,
Big relief.
dude. Seriously, we were kind of like stressed out about it. Well, I was more stressed out than Jirath. Jirath knows what he's doing, but I was just like, damn, hopefully this comes out really good. And just from that corner, I think this car is going to look so much better. It's going to look like how it looks on Instagram, but in real life. So what we're going to do is like, as you can see, I taped off the center. He's going to go ahead and polish one side, just so we can get a quick picture. We're gonna go ahead and jump ahead to where he's finished with one side. Well, we're done. This is what it looks like. Wet sand, nice polish with the wool pad and the foam pad. And you can see me. These are marks from the previous owner's touch-up paint. We're gonna have to do a little more touch-up paint right here, which is fine. But yeah, honestly, it looks 100 times better.
Every time I see the stuff like before and after, it's just something else.
It looks so good. Jirath did such a good job with polishing it. From before, what it used to look like, to now, it's crazy. Given it's like 18-year-old paint, it looks really good for 18 years old. It's little rock chips, but that doesn't even matter. Like, it has that mirror finish. That's exactly what you want. Look at it. You can even see the lights, how crisp they look. Look at that. It's already like 10 o'clock or something, but now that that's done, Jirath's gonna go ahead and start polishing the other side of the hood. But while he's doing that, I'm gonna be wet sanding the trunk, because as you can see, the trunk kind of has the same thing going on. It has that adhesive texture plus some scratches, but that's gonna be all taken care of. We removed the trunk lip, and that's what I have over here. I already repainted and re-clear coated it, and so I wet sanded it right here, so you can tell. It's getting rid of most of the orange peeling. I don't want to get rid of all of it because, I mean, the rest of the paint has that texture still of orange peeling, just so it matches a little better. And then here is with some compounding by hand, and it's shiny. Still got to do a couple pass-throughs, but once it's all done, everything's going to come out so good. The car is going to look perfect, honestly. It's going to look a little too good. A little too good thanks to Jirath. So since you guys already know what the plan is, or what we've been doing as far as like what grits, what stages, the process of what we're going through, and you kind of saw with the hood, we basically have to do with the whole car now, the trunk, anything that has like exposure to the sun up top is where it has all of those patterns and adhesive marks. So we're gonna do everything we just did for the hood, for the whole car, And to save you from boredom, I'm going to go ahead and skip forward to once we're done with the car and we start getting it ready for the ceramic coating.